What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today we gotta discuss the newest legendary Deepwoken weapon and why I think it's one of my favorites when it comes to dynamic gameplay. Sure, as of right now, I think it's a bit underpowered, but when it comes to unique weaponry, the Pleeksty's Inferno is the master of flipping the fight. Now, let's discuss the obtainable weapon from Asuka, the Pleeksty's Inferno. So, this weapon is a pretty crazy legendary medium that's also considered a club. This means every single club talent works, and it's pretty solid. Its visual is unique with a flat and jagged design that feels straight out of Monster Hunter. This option also has a glowing orange core, which changes based on your fire color, which is always nice to see. Anyway, let's move on to the gameplay. The Inferno's swing cycle is pretty basic and does work well for a club. Despite its jagged appearance and obvious flame charm relation, this weapon does not do anything bleed or flame related on M1. Regardless, it hits hard if you invest points into both medium weapon and flame charm stats. Moving forward, this weapon really gets started when we start pulling out crits. The regular standing crit slams the ground twice with an explosion, leading into a heavy swing that sends people away. Every single hit in this sequence seems to ignite the player and can instantly guard break or deal high posture damage, and it seems pretty powerful if this hits. I'm not gonna lie, its range can be deceiving, which can be both good and bad, and it also seems to cancel off a single parry, resetting the fight to neutral, which is I guess okay. Now, while sprinting or sliding, this crit has a normal slice that does high posture and also shoots out a flaming projectile that goes pretty far and definitely hits hard. Each active hitbox for this crit functions a bit strangely and won't combo into the next attack, but it seems like a strong option from range. Also, oftentimes I'll be using this up close instead of far away because its windup is a bit harder to read than the standing crit. Now, after landing your crits, here's where the Pleeksty gets crazy and becomes one of the most interesting weapons in the game. On hitting any critical from this weapon, we enter the buffed Emperor Flame state to set up explosive combos and confirm our crits once again. Emperor Flame does bonus damage on M1, setting up into an instant flourish, but now it also applies the Wither status that reduces a maximum HP. As of right now, the Inferno weapon and Wither status are conceptually awesome and really interesting for Deepwoken, but at the moment they're also pretty weak. Essentially, the Wither status will reduce your maximum HP and prevent you from healing past that point, but currently the Wither applied is just so low, and realistically, heal in this game isn't that crazy. Even if I'm withering you over and over and over, covering your entire health bar with that status, it's useless if you aren't even healing. With that being said, I think the Pleeksty's Inferno Emperor Flame generation on crit is so much more interesting than something like the Pyrekeeper. In my personal opinion, I think that legendary weapons should be good because they're potentially interesting and fun instead of just being objectively strong. Like, I'ma keep it real, the Pyrekeeper is objectively stronger and better in combat simply because it applies fire and does extra damage on M1, and that also slows people. Yeah, it also has 5 different crits, but just with the Flame M1s alone, that's really powerful and can be considered objectively stronger than the Inferno. But to be honest, I'm glad that the Inferno didn't follow this route because it's just so easy to slap the blazing enchant onto anything flame related, but instead the Inferno relies on pressure and has unique build shutdown. It's a dynamic weapon that grows in power the more you deal damage, and it's definitely not boring. Shifting back, again, I do think that all of the weapon crits, Emperor Flame, and Wither itself need some buffs, but as a concept, I'm super excited to use this weapon and see how it will be buffed. Instead of being a lazier weapon that just applies status, this thing is something different, so I can't wait to see what happens. Anyway, comment your thoughts down below about how this switches up gameplay, and I'll share it with the devs. As always, for more content like this, make sure to like and subscribe so we can hit 90k subs. Thanks again, it's punchin' time.